It's Brenda back again to talk to you all for just a minute. I've been mentioning different times in my prepping videos, I will refer to my prepping notebook, and I've encouraged you all to get a notebook and keep things written down. The other night, I was talking to my sister on the phone and she's like, you really need to show your prepping notebook so people can see what you're talking about. And I thought, well, I don't feel like my prepping notebook's that great. I'm not a very well organized person, and that's why I have to write things down in a notebook. But then I got a comment on I don't remember which video it was, but someone asked if they could see my prepping notebook. So I thought, well, since 2 people within 2 days have asked about my notebook, I thought I would share it with you all. My prepping notebook that I refer to when I'm talking to you all is it's a notebook that I have. It looks like this. I keep my menu plans, my pantry inventory, grocery items that I want to buy in the future, just things like that is what's in this prepper notebook. I also have a couple of other notebooks. One of them has my emergency plan for preparedness. I call it my grab and go kit inventory. Some people call it a bug out bag. My sister calls hers her get home bag. It's a backpack for each one of my family members that has certain supplies in it for being able to, I guess if you're out and you can't get home, it will tide you over for a couple of days. Or I don't know, if you have to leave your home in a hurry, you can grab that bag and have enough supplies to get you through for 2 to 3 days until you kind of form a more permanent plan. So yeah, I've got that kind of thing and emergency contacts and things like that in another notebook with like our plan for heating, which we have a kerosene heater and kerosene fuel and water, how we plan on supplying our family with water during an emergency, things like that. I have in 2 other notebooks, and my hope is that eventually I will be able to combine those into like a binder. This is my binder. I've used it for other things in the past. It's a nice size binder, 3-ring binder that I would be able to keep a calendar in here and pages with tabs, divider tabs, where I could have all of my entire prepping in one location. Right now I enjoy I call this my prepping notebook because I can grab this and take it to the store with me. It's small enough that I can just grab it. I like it because it has pockets that I can stick stuff in. I'm always watching videos and podcasts and reading books. I gather a lot of information to educate myself about prepping, and I will just jot things down, different size pieces of paper, but there's a nice pocket for me to keep my chicken scratchings in. It's just an easy notepad. It's easy to handle. It's easy to write in. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I've actually been I'm reorganizing my prepping pantry. I'm moving some things to a more convenient location in my home. So things are a little bit scrambled right now. And I also have been transferring stuff from other notebooks into this notebook. It's a messy looking notebook, but it still has helped me so much be more organized with my thoughts and what I need to do. So as you open it up, there's a pocket in the front, and on this pocket, I have written our emergency contacts like sheriff, police, fire department, ambulance, our doctors, poison control, and road conditions. Those are numbers that a person could need in an emergency situation. I've also written those in a few other places in case in the moment of an emergency, your brain can be scrambled and have trouble thinking and remembering where things are and what you need to do. So I've got these numbers written in some other areas as well so that they'll be easy to get to and call for help if you need help. So I have one of my pantry locations, the inventory of what's there and how much of each item there are. I've got 2 pages of that. Then I have menus these are not menus that I use like on a regular basis for my family. These are menus like that I would use with my prepping supplies. I have, let me see, breakfasts are here, and then I folded the page for lunches, and then this is dinner meals. And then at the bottom I wrote how many meals of each that I have. I have about 60 meals of breakfast, 60 of lunch, and 60 of dinner in my prepper pantry right now. So that's approximately 2 months worth of food storage and supplies. I have a menu that if I need to start using my prepping supplies, I would follow my menu and know that I have the supplies for these particular meals already in my home. Don't need to go to the store for anything for any of those meals. And that's very convenient as well. Then I have a page that's devoted to what I still need, what I feel like I still need in my pantry storage. And this is going to be different for every family. That's why I just encourage you to get a notebook and see how you would like to set up a notebook. I'm perfectly willing to share my ideas and try to help other people get started, because I know that's very helpful when you don't really know where to start with something. But as you get started and you go along, revise that to meet your own needs, because every family is different. Every person is different. Even the way my husband and I do things is different. We're different people. We have different ways of doing things. So this is just what has helped me. I've written notes to myself, just scratched them on pages. I need to learn how to can meat. I would love to learn how to can meat, because that would free up room in my freezer. I also don't like being dependent on my deep freeze, because if electricity would go out, I would be in trouble with a freezer full of meat. That's something as well. Okay, I also made a page for shortage. This is something that I had on my mind earlier this year with COVID, or I guess it was in 2020, earlier in 2020 when COVID first got started. It didn't take long to realize that our grocery stores were having trouble keeping up with supplies. So I made a note in this. I've got a whole page devoted to things that were short in supply. So I would know that those are things I want to be sure and stay stocked up on for the future. In my area, and my sister lives in Minnesota, my mom lives in Oklahoma. So, for all three of us, it was different at different times. That's been interesting as well. Wonder, why is it so strange that we can't find this here, but my sister can get it where she lives? But I guess it's just the supply chain and how it all flows. So in my area, and I live in Southern Illinois, toilet paper was in short supply for a very long time. Paper towels, over-the-counter medications like vitamins, allergy medication, Tylenol, Excedrin, those kinds of things. For a while, they just didn't have any. Chicken, I couldn't get chicken for a long time. Or we could find chicken legs, but not a whole chicken. Or you could find a whole chicken, but not chicken breast. Just back and forth like that. But chicken was hard to find. Bacon has been hard to find. Frozen vegetables, bread, eggs, bleach, and cleaners like Lysol cleaners, Lysol wipes, Lysol spray, any kind of disinfecting, cleaning supply. They just have been in very short supply. I can find Lysol now. The last time I went to Lowe's was the first time I found Lysol in my area in a long time, months. It had been months. I've got a page of that, and I've got a star beside, and it's just randomly in the middle of the page I wrote cloth masks, because that came to my mind. So I opened my notebook and wrote down cloth masks, that I need to make more cloth masks, because we also couldn't buy masks for a long time. Didn't know I had those 3 boxes in the linen closet. Yeah, that's on here. And then I made myself a little note that I also bought as soon as I realized that there was a problem and there were shortages going on and we were in the throes of a pandemic. I bought clothespins, I bought bags of topsoil, and I bought garden seeds. So I would have those things on hand just in case we got to where we couldn't find things in the stores. So I do have those things now as well. Then I have some pages of just notes that I've jotted down as I was reading information and listening. I have a page that I would highly encourage. This probably should be the very first page of your notebook. Mine's like right in the middle. That's how organized I am. How prepared are we is the title of my page, and I put down we could possibly face, where I live, my family could possibly face earthquake, tornado, a winter storm, or major illness. Those are things that have happened in my area, and they have affected our ability to get to the grocery store or get the supplies and the food items that we've needed. So wherever you live, you need to write that down. What do you feel like your disasters could be that you would face as a family? What do you need to be prepared for, I guess is what this is about. Second question, what can I do to prepare? What if normal grocery distribution is interrupted? I wrote this down years ago, and sure enough, we already know what it's like if normal grocery distribution gets interrupted. It's not much fun, but you can survive. We've all done fine. What if electricity is unavailable? This happens with our family. This has happened when we've had winter storms. We live in a rural area, so if there's very much ice at all, then the wind blows, the power lines snap, and we're without electricity. Also, we've had tornadoes and severe thunderstorms that have gone through and taken out our electricity. So we've learned to plan for what we will do if we don't have electricity. What if we had to evacuate right now? Where would we go? And where I live, I don't see that as being a problem, but you never know. So I'm prepared. We have a plan. We have an evacuation plan. If we were ill or injured, what medical supplies do I have? Questions like this written down where you can see them on a regular basis will help you prepare as you think about these situations. You'll know what you need to do to prepare for your family. And I have 6 items on this page that are inexpensive to purchase. They store easily for long periods of time, and they provide adequate nutrition for people. The first one is water. The second one is wheat and grains. The third one is powdered milk. The fourth item is honey. The fifth item is salt. And the sixth item is sprouting seeds. Seeds for sprouting. So I would encourage you to, I'm going to hold this up for you to see so you can take a picture or whatever, add that to your notebook. Those items are easy to find, and if you have those, you have basic nutrition. So I wouldn't want to just live on those items, but you could do it if you had to, and you'd be thankful for it. Another page I have, this was a long time ago, 37 items to have. And also I wrote a little note in the corner, be prepared to help others. And there's actually, I think, 50 items on here, and then I thought of a few as well. Batteries, flashlights, and a radio. There's 50 items to have stocked up on. There's a list on another page, items that never go bad. See, when I look through this, these give me ideas of things I need to put on my list when I go to the store, go to Walmart. If I have a little bit of extra money, I'll think, I need to buy a few items for my prepper plan. And then this was a good plan for me. This is what got me started being a little bit better organized. It's called the 3-day plan. I don't know if you saw that with the light glaring. 3-day plan. How can I help you see that? Anyway, 3-day plan. And what you do, you're basically going to think about what you would need for you and your family for 3 days. That's what the, I don't remember if it's FEMA or Department of Homeland Security. I can't remember. They put out a list of things. They wanted everyone to be prepared for at least 3 days with water, food, a radio, a weather radio, a first aid kit, a whistle, masks, hygiene, like baby wipes, trash bags, toilet paper, Listerine, deodorant, toothpaste, brushes, germ busters, soap and shampoo, matches in a waterproof container, a shut-off wrench. That's something that is helpful that I have. Our furnace runs on gas, and there's a meter just outside our house at the back. And in case of an earthquake, one of the first things we would do is take that shut-off wrench and shut off the gas to our home to prevent a fire or an explosion. So shut-off wrench would be an important thing to have. a notepad and pen. Again, start writing things down, because if you're in a stressful situation, it's going to be hard to remember things. Your medications with a cooler for us, because my husband has injections that have to be refrigerated. Your important documents, cash, blankets, a change of clothing, bleach, and a dropper to be able to disinfect your water. And then there's a little note at the top of the page for disinfectant, 9 parts water to 1 part bleach. And for water treatment, 16 drops of bleach to 1 gallon of water. So just little information like that is helpful to beginning preppers, actually for anyone. Just have those things written down so that as you're going through your prepper notebook, you'll see these things, and it'll spark memory. It'll give you ideas, things you need to do, things you need to purchase to prepare. The next page I have in here is 1 week food storage. I have a menu for 1 week, 7 breakfasts, 7 lunches, and 7 dinners. And it's similar to what I had in the beginning of the notebook. And then below that is a grocery list of everything I need to have 1 week of meals for my family. I have a page devoted to first aid supplies. Then I have several pages of prepper pantry meals. These are meals that can be fixed just with things I have on my shelves. I wouldn't need to go to the store for anything. So I have breakfast meals, lunch meals, dinner meals, and then I have an exhaustive list of my prepping supplies and where they're located. Then I have my perpetual pantry list. This isn't exactly prepping. This is just things that I have on hand all the time. Baking supplies, canned goods, a list of what I like to have, condiments, seasonings, cereals, prepackaged food, vegetables, refrigerated items, freezer items, things of that nature. And then I have water, which also probably should be at the beginning of the notebook, but water supply for my family. We have a Berkey water filter. I've talked about that in some of my other videos. I also showed on my last video the water bottle to use for drinking, flushing, cleaning, whatever you would need it for. So you need to think about your water sources, like long-term source, like rain, or if there's a pond nearby that you can filter water from. I have a list of my household items, like my laundry supplies, my cleaning supplies, things like that. And my plan for being prepared and stocked up on these kinds of things is that I have what I'm using plus 2, like dish detergent. I have the one that I'm using now, plus there's 2 under the sink. And then when I take one of those 2, when I take it out and open it, I will put it on my list to buy another one when I go to the store. That way I always have 2 plus what I'm using. I do that with all of my cleaning supplies and hygiene supplies. Then the end of my prepping notebook is prepping recipes that I write out, that our family likes, that I have supplies on the pantry for. And I've shared some of those with you all, and I will probably in the future, I'm sure I'll be sharing more. Today, I don't want to make this video too long and boring for everyone. The back of my notebook is just tons of pages of things I've written out, lists and menus and things like that. So that's my prepping notebook, and I'm excited to hear from you all. I'd like to know if you have ideas, how you've organized your prepping notebook. I know mine's not perfect, and I continually revise it. I think I've had a total of 4 prepping notebooks through the years because I change it. I'll change it up and redo this one or add to this or that. And like I said, my next step is going to be to put together my binder. I've got it started, but I'm going to hopefully have things all in this big binder here. And then it'll be easier to be organized with it all. So, okay guys, that's my prepping notebook. Tell me about yours. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. Leave me a comment below. I've really been enjoying the comments I've been receiving. It's nice to hear from you all.